we are back with another episode of your boys RaGents. As always, your ratchet gentleman is Tristan on the mic. Oh, I don't say my real name. Hold on.
Yeah, see?
It's the gent. It's the gent on the mic.
It's too late for that, Tristan.
All right, Antoine.
Here with your boy, Antoine.
What's going on with you, man? What's been going on?
Been just getting a lot of things in order as far as business-wise and personal-wise. Getting everything in the process to get my passport and the things that I need to get that. What else is there? Birthday trip is coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll be going to Arizona.
I'm hoping I can make it, man.
I can't wait for that one.
I'm hoping I can make it. Oh, I got to tell you something. Somebody else wants to ride with us, roll with us, but we'll talk about that off air.
Oh.
Yeah, but that is gonna be a litty. It's gonna be a litty situation. Well, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, man.
And how about you then?
I'm trying. I already told you it will not be. If I don't go, it won't be because I can't. It'll be because of work. If I can't go. So that'll be the only reason. But we'll talk about that off air. But yeah, man, this weekend was lit. We went out Friday and we turned the fuck up.
I got home and I'm like, damn, that felt like college.
It did. It was like 4 a.m. when we got in the house.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm sitting here
I'm
sitting here like, I am too old for this. And I went out again the next night. Like, I'm fucking 25 again.
I had my nephew's, I had 2 birthday parties with some cousins.
Okay.
Cousins. So, I wasn't going back out.
Yeah, I was
crazy.
wiped. By the time Sunday came, I had some things I had to do for work and things like that. I was like, nope. It'll be done Monday morning. I was not in the mood. It was not working for me.
I'm definitely glad I did go out though, because I wasn't going to go out.
I'm glad I convinced you to pop out with your boys.
Because I was going to sit in the crib. I've been a house booty, bro.
Hey, man. It's been, what, how many of us? It was like 6 or 7 of us just hanging out, kicking it?
Yeah. I did that in a long time.
Yeah, just, God time, enjoying each other's company, having a good ass time. That was a litty situation.
Oh, yeah, where did we go?
Series, but they
Persona.
strong ass face, Persona.
And then we went to Promontory. Promontory was definitely busting, bro.
Yeah. I was so damn drunk at the end of Promontory. You remember I was dancing with that thick chick and I was so drunk I couldn't get it over.
That's what happened.
Yeah. I couldn't function. Like, I was trying to talk and all of my, like, normally when I'm drunk, I'm pretty, like, quick-witted and smooth. It all went out the fucking window. I choked hard because she was thick, like peanut butter thick. Yeah, but it's fine.
I got my dances and I was ready to go. For real. Man, what's name was pissing me off.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
we ain't gonna put nobody business out in the street, man. But
yeah,
it was late though. Some things that happened since the last time we recorded. We recorded 2 episodes last time in one night, so we missed about a week of some social activities. So let's get on that. Talk about some popular things in pop culture right now. The Olympics just wrapped up on Sunday, with the U.S. Taking the most gold medals with, I believe, 39.
I think we got the most bronze as well.
We have the most medals. We have, I want to say we was at like 111, 118, something like that.
119.
119, and then the next closest was China with 88.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did our thing. Shout out to the basketball teams, both men and women. They did their thing.
Yeah.
The women's 4x4 won in track. Who else? go over to the Olympic side. Yo, shout out to Simone Biles. She was dealing with some like hardcore mental health issues. Her aunt died while she was there. In gymnastics, there's this thing called the twisties where you are disoriented when you're twisting and things like that. So she wasn't able to compete. And for her to sit there and be like, nah, I'm more concerned about both my mental and physical health than winning a medal right now says a lot about her and her character. Because if you think about it, the way they be twisting and things like that, she could land on her neck and die. She could, like, if this was back in the olden days where they would force athletes to perform no matter what, she could have died. So good on her for realizing that it's not safe for her to be going up there doing all these flips and twists and things like that to risk her life and things like that, because they would look for a reason to talk about her. They were looking for a reason. They called everything.
Hey man, look. Your health is number one.
Yeah.
She did the right thing. Fuck what everybody else got to say.
And then came back for the very last event, individual event, the balance beam, and won third place, took bronze medal in the balance beam.
Yeah.
Did the routine. It was still a little shaky by her standards, but she toned it down so she wouldn't have to do as many twists and things like that.
Yeah.
And managed to put out a bronze medal with everything she was going through. That says a lot. But you know, some other U.S. Olympic athletes, gymnasts held it down. Like I believe her name was Suni Lee. She won the all-around competition. That's when you compete in every event, and whoever gets the top score take that. She won gold medal in that. So you know what? They did their goddamn thing, man. I believe they won the team. They won silver.
I'm gonna be truthfully honest about it. I don't think I ever watched the Olympics.
You know what? The coverage for it this year sucked. Like, it was hard to actually watch this year, and it's not just because they're playing in Tokyo, because for the most part it's always in another country. But it was
heard about it.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like the coverage that NBC did, I really disagree with. They did a lot of it on like Peacock, their streaming service, which yes, the streaming service is free, but it's just like I don't want another streaming service.
I know for sure if I don't watch anything, I know I watch the basketball.
Mm-hmm. I always watch swimming.
I gotta watch the track.
Yeah, the track. It was so hard to see. It was even hard to find them on demand. So I was really upset that I didn't get a chance to get the full Olympic experience that I normally would. But you know what?
And I might watch the gymnastic. You know what I'm saying? Watch that. Yeah, they be doing some crazy ass shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I know for sure if I watch them, I watch those three areas. But I ain't.
Yeah. But moving on, man.
Ain't hype you up enough.
Yeah. Once again, shout out to the U.S. Olympic team for representing this country, even though sometimes it didn't represent all of us. Moving on. I'm not going to get on that high horse. I'm going to leave it right there. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Some people are up in arms right now because the very great President Obama just turned 60 this past weekend, and he threw one hell of a party from the very few images that we were actually able to see. Like her was there, Erykah Badu, a bunch of other people. But you know, they kept it very private. Hush.
I was just about to say my invite must got lost in the mail or some shit, you feel? That was real. Hey, come on, man, don't forget about this, bro.
But people were upset because you know it's this news variant of the coronavirus going out there. And people was just like, it looks very irresponsible for them to have this big party in his private home on Martha's Vineyard. You know, after he left office, he was almost instantly a millionaire because of all the book deals and things like that he got. So, you know, I ain't mad at it, but I understand where people coming from. At the same time, I feel like half of them motherfuckers were just mad because they didn't get invited.
And it was probably some of them motherfuckers that had them some parties that was being covered on TMZ and shit. Yeah. Man, shut the fuck up.
As I just said, I was out partying this past weekend. But one thing I can guarantee you...
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
Yeah. I guarantee you that because, you know, he's not...
out there.
I'm sure it was melanin. Yes, God, melanin everywhere. Oh, Lord Jesus, thank you for the black woman. But here's my thing. I'm positive most of the people there, if not all, were vaccinated or was probably tested before they were allowed to come in that damn party. So I'm sure that party was safer. It was definitely safer than parties we went to this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. They some places are taking the COVID extremely serious. So is that CNN fired 3 people who came in to work because they wasn't vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even give a fuck if you had it. You ain't even been vaccinated. You fired.
Because you're putting the production at risk. They're trying to get everybody
Not
back
necessarily. I mean, you can't. That's still a 50-50 chance. Okay, you've been vaccinated. I have been vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Neither one of us has coronavirus.
Yeah, luckily, the Delta variant isn't too high here in Chicago. So, but that's
that can go either way.
Here's my thing, and you know how I feel about the vaccine. I've been encouraging you to try to get it for the longest, and we're not gonna get into the reasons why. But I think it's important for everyone to get it because the last thing I want to happen is for you to get it and you don't have it. And apparently this new variant is a motherfucker. So that's all. I think the benefits outweighs the potential harm in my personal view.
Oh, I mean, well, let's see.
And I feel like soon a lot of places, as soon as it goes through the federal FDA recognition.
Because I know to fly quite a few places internationally, you got to
be fully vaccinated. Yeah,
and
Canada is one of them.
The very first place I'm going when I touch this passport, is Bali. I'm gonna let y'all know how it go when I get there. I'm seeing y'all lots and lots of videos because if you
they may be one that wants you to be vaccinated. Right?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I by that time I may have to. I'm trying to find some plane that fly under the radar or some shit, but
try to private and shit. But no, honestly, I feel like I'm shocked really that America didn't have some type of mandate for people coming into the country.
We do now.
Not yet. Anybody can fly here if they want to, except for I think a few countries.
It's a couple places. Because I was just watching on the news. There's a couple places if you're coming from somewhere, you have to put you on a quarantine for it was 72 hours. Long enough for you to take a test and your test to come back negative or positive.
I mean, here's the thing. It's known that the Delta variant, which is the variant that's ravaging through the unvaccinated states right now, it originated in India. Why wasn't there some type of pause on listen, we know what India was dealing with. Their numbers, they were dealing with some extreme cases of coronavirus with over death and a lot of those things. They were way up there. Why wasn't look, why not do what Canada did? They banned all international travel into their country. To this day,
I've been said we should just go on total lockdown. Everybody just sit the fuck in the crib.
I mean, here's the thing.
For 14 days.
Yeah.
Everybody go shopping. Sit y'all ass in the crib for the 14 days. Let it die off.
Canada just said Americans can come back to Canada. But you know what? They said in order to come, you got to be vaccinated. The Toronto Blue Jays just was able to play their first game in Canada. I want to say a week or two ago.
I don't want to go to Canada right now.
Right? The Raptors, when they were playing during the NBA season, they weren't able to play in their stadium, I don't believe, because they wanted, at that point in time, there was no vaccine around. So Canada was nah, we're not allowing, people to travel unsafely.
Outside stadiums.
Yeah, I mean, when the NHL, when they had their season, it was they have a lot of Canadian teams. So it's okay, the Canadian teams are one league, the American teams are another league. Y'all will meet in the finals. It was just we're not going to risk, having people cross the borders and bringing more infections over to the country. And they did it the right way.
I don't know where the fuck all these strands keep coming from if y'all ain't dealt with the first one.
So it's
I mean, you probably. I know it's different ways, you know what I'm saying? So it could have happened. They could have met a person where it mutated, or they transformed into something else trying to find a vaccination or a stronger vaccine for it. Anything could have happened, but goddamn, chill out, man.
I mean, it's
This
pretty
is like
simple.
the fourth
The
one or
more
the fifth
people,
one we
yeah,
heard
the
about.
more people that get sick, the more likely it is to mutate, and it could become worse every time it spreads. So we're dealing with a worse strain than what the original strain was, and apparently there may be some other ones that people are worried about, but it's not being transmitted right now.
Yeah, wherever that came from, y'all ain't welcome here. You stay your ass over there
I ain't saying
until y'all
all that.
figure it out.
Well, honestly, I think the country should have been on lockdown during that time.
Why the hell would we let their ass over here with a new strain? Stay where you at until you figure it out.
Yeah, and I don't think that's being inhumane. I think that's protecting. That would have been protecting for us.
Hell
So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You'll find a hard way for me to make an argument about that. Would there be some humanitarian issues we would have to deal with? Of course, but there are ways. We're the freaking United States of America. If we don't figure that shit out.
I mean, I wasn't never against not taking. It's just work out y'all little kinks, baby. Work out y'all little kinks.
Well, it's over a year.
Once that's over with, I'll be the first motherfucker in line.
It's over a year now. I think the kinks are out. But
Yeah.
all right, moving on, man. This motherfucker Kanye, man, Kanye West. People are waiting on this album, Donda. It was supposed to get released like what now? 3 weeks ago. He done pushed it back and pushed it back. He's still working on it. He moved into the Mercedes-Benz Arena where the Atlanta Hawks play.
It was like $1 million a day or something.
The most expensive.
It was like $1 million a day or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and it's just like I understand. I don't understand the creative process. My version of creativity is nowhere near what the genius that Kanye's is. But people are thirsty for this album. Thirsty.
I know a lot of people I'm about to lose a really, 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 really good fan base, but I never liked Kanye. I said what I said, fuck you.
You never liked Kanye?
Never liked Kanye.
I've always been.
The only song that I was even able to tolerate, even for a moment, was Jesus Walking. And I hated that.
Kanye has
I don't like it. I don't know.
So
I think it's me being biased of like seeing him personally versus his music. And I don't like his ass as a whole, so fuck his music. That's how I feel about it.
Kanye is an arrogant son of a bitch, but here's one thing, and you know me. My whole problem with Kanye is, man, when Kanye went beyond, like, I won't say when he went out of his lane. It's like I never listened to Yeezus because I thought it was sacrilegious, if you will.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, you don't compare yourself to my Lord and Savior. I don't like that, and I wouldn't support anybody that did that. So I purposely didn't listen
Probably
to
why I don't like Jay-Z's name either.
Jehovah. Yeah, not a fan of it. Call
I don't
yourself
like him
Jay-Z.
either.
Fine.
I don't care what the fuck y'all got to say.
Jay-Z is the GOAT. So I'm not even about
But
to
I
argue
don't
with
like the cow.
that. Anyway, but when he did his gospel album, I didn't listen to it either because I was just like, nothing about what he was doing seemed really.
I don't think he
no.
like he ain't really connected to no.
I mean, I'm not. It's not my position to question anyone's faith, but I know. My discernment wasn't rocking with what he was doing. And
I don't feel like he is.
I heard the music was great. I heard that it had some powerful messaging in it, and I heard that it really sat there. But it says a lot to me that, you know, if the first thing you do once you turn into a gospel artist is start visiting these white evangelical Christian centers who don't give a fuck about black people at all and support Donald Trump, that tells me you were in it for the money and not for my Lord. That's all I'm saying. And you'll be hard pressed to tell me otherwise.
This is Kanye West we talking about.
Yeah. I mean, he became a billionaire, and part of it was because of his marketing to white evangelicals, and I'm not taking it back.
Bro been kissing white ass for a long time.
For
a long time.
Not a long time. I mean, he's the same Kanye West that got on national television and said George Bush doesn't like black people. How does he go from that?
I'm damn near thinking he don't like black people, so he can cut it the fuck out.
Yeah, that's an argument that could be had. I'm worried about the man right now, but
I'm not.
to each their own. I'm not sure. Well, it's some cuts on there on the Donda album that I do want to hear. So maybe I'll give it a try.
Maybe it don't sound the way he wanted to sound yet, and he had to.
I mean,
that's it back a little bit. That's one thing I can say about the nigga. He is a perfectionist, and then if it ain't the way he wanted, it don't sound the way he wanted to sound.
Yeah. I mean,
don't release it.
He needs his last few rap albums haven't hit as hard as they could. I mean, nothing beats, don't get me wrong, Late Registration, College Dropout, Graduation, those were classics. I'm still a fan of 808 and Heartbreaks. Never listened to Yeezus not once. Could barely name a song off there. But My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is considered one of the greatest albums of all time by music critics. And I'm not a critic, but I think the level of artistry in that damn thing was amazing. And then Life of Pablo was a bit of a letdown. So, but it is what it is.
He slid right in there. Well, then this one was just a bit of a letdown.
Just a little bit. I mean, it's definitely has some cuts on there. I definitely love that video he did with Tiana Taylor. That Faded video. Hey, man.
This motherfucker stays on
that video. Yes, Lord. Whew. The most beautiful woman in the world, according to Maxim, or Maxim's hottest woman or whatever. Just gorgeous. Moving on, man. Let's get to our main topic, man. Let's get to our main topic. So, this was in our ideas list.
Okay.
While we were trying to think of something, and we scrolled through here and we saw one that says bitter ones. And it's people who are petty to their exes. I'm not sure about you, but I've witnessed this. I've taken part in it in my younger days. I've had it thrown at me very recently. But I'm going to let you start it off, and then we're going to get into it. And then you know how we do. We'll flow. Bitter. You bitter Bettys.
Okay, bitter. I don't.
Have you ever been bitter when you broke up?
Have I ever been bitter?
Let's be very clear here. I believe, and this is just me personally, I believe that if you act bitter towards an ex when you break up, that means you're just petty and you're not completely over it. It hurts. It's a bitter pill to swallow, hence why I call it bitter. And so that's where this is coming from. Have you ever broke up with somebody and just the sight of them just like, ugh?
Nah, I've never broken up with anybody.
Not even just breaking up with somebody, or like stop talking to somebody, or like, y'all used to hook up, but now y'all ain't cool, no like that no more, all that. Come on, player.
Look, this is really a list.
Have you ever had a woman do that to you?
Yeah, I've had plenty of women be bitter towards me, but I've never been bitter towards a woman. I just don't be giving no fuck no more.
Yeah. I mean, but that's now. Like, I've definitely reached that level of maturity now. I remember when,
No.
Yeah, I have.
My shit was always on no. Cause, okay, like, even though I was shy, it was just like, all right, well, then, on to the next one.
Yeah.
There are plenty more out here.
Very true. And I never had a problem getting them, but that don't mean that my feelings wasn't hurt that motherfucker. Like, for instance, this is probably the last time, or no, it wasn't the last time. But I remember one of my ex-girlfriends, probably the first girlfriend I had in college. Yeah. We actually broke up. Part of the reason because she cheated on me, and I never got over it. And when we broke up, she was all type of bitches and hoes on the social media.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. I went there. And I was really petty, and I was coming from a really.
And he's a Cancer.
What does that have to do with anything, Scorpio?
He's a Cancer.
Okay. Now you're about to piss me off because you know what else I was about to do. Now you're about to piss me off. Anyway, but no, it was a tough. I was cheated on. Like, I deserve to be, like, bitter and petty about that to an extent. To an extent. Could I?
How long was y'all dating?
That was about a year-ish.
You got
In total,
you got something right.
Yeah, I mean, from courting to actually in a relationship to even that in between stage where we were together but not together kind of thing. It was a little over a year. It spanned it.
I'm gonna tell you one that's I like. This I could have been bitter at this point in time, but I just chose not to. Just messing with this girl. She's a virgin. So I messed with this girl. Fucking around with this shorty. And right after, I want to say a couple of days after I take her virginity, whatever, she called me and was like, I'm pregnant. And so I'm like, okay, congratulations. She was like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, did you talk to the father? Did you let him know?
That's a little petty.
She was like, so she said my name. I'm like, what? She is yours. Nah, boy, I was Trojan and strong. What you talking about? Hey, I know you was fucking around. You feel me? Shit like type shit.
Thought
Like
she was a virgin.
No, she was.
Mm-hmm.
But this had transpired, like whatever she did to get pregnant happened after.
Okay.
I did what I did. So I'm like, I could have just been, because I had a suspicion who it was, and he thought he was the first one, but.
Yeah. And you chose not to be petty.
Yeah, I already hit that home run, player. Grand slam.
Damn.
Like I'm saying, it's so many things that look. Women out here be kind of.
Hey man, I got a baby scare story from hell. I don't, Lord Jesus.
That wasn't even a scare. That was a joke because I knew that wasn't for me.
At least you knew for a fact that you wasn't it. I was fucking petrified for 9 months. Mm-hmm. It was god awful. But one of these days I'll actually sit down and tell that entire story. But for now, we're gonna move on. But yeah, man.
Being bitter. I'm trying to figure out if I've ever done it.
What if some things women have done to you to be bitter and petty?
Oh, I've had the pregnancy scare a couple of times. Somebody.
But is that them being bitter and petty? Or is that,
yeah, because it was a couple times. It's like I didn't want to talk to them no more. I didn't want to fuck with them no more. So they was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant" type thing.
Oh, they lied on them. Yeah, same.
One of them was like, "I didn't want to fuck with her no more." We was fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, alright, this our last time fucking around. Ooh. Then she was like, I'm pregnant with twins. Come on, bro.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, for real.
Yeah, man.
I had one shorty that it wasn't towards me, but it was like kind of towards me. Like, I was working on a friend's car, and I took my girlfriend with me. And then she thought me and the friend was doing something, so she unscrewed all the lug nuts off the girl car. Wait, crazy shit.
Did you sit there and watch her?
No.
She came back.
My friend had been staying over there probably, I think, about basically all her life. Never had no problem with nobody who I've been. The moment I take this fool over there and we arguing about it because she thinking and she already got in her mind and believe that we doing something and ain't even met the girl. The motherfucker go back over there when I'm not around and I guess undo what that's something.
That's some crazy shit right there, man.
Crazy.
That is absolutely crazy.
Matter of fact, I had just, because we got into the argument, I'm like, yeah, we doing it. This ain't gonna work. I don't even feel like arguing. I'm gonna do it. I don't argue. So, I guess that was how
Yeah. You know what used to get me, and I never understood, and once again, I tried this back in college, and this was with another girlfriend, but I was just like, yeah, this is not like, it's not healthy, it's not like cool to do. It's like completely just walking past somebody you used to sleep with this person. You used to hold this person, kiss on them, all those things. And I think it's so like petty and immature to like just pretend like they don't exist, right? Like to go from saying I love you to like not even acknowledging them. I think that's really petty and immature. And it shows
I mean, but
that
that can also be a just a simple level of maturity, you know.
to understand, here's my thing, and it once again it's taken me a while to get there. Well, yeah. So when that happened and I saw the way it kind of made me feel about the entire situation, I told myself I would never be that petty about things again, right? I'm not gonna be just tiptoeing around somebody and pretending like their existence isn't there or like ignoring them purposely. Because at that point, now we're trying to be petty and, together. Now you're in one corner trying to juke on some dude and being extra. I'm in another corner trying to take some girl down on the dance floor to make you jealous. And we're just battling each other at that point, and it's just so fucking petty, and it just looks terrible. So I've decided I'm never gonna do that again. I'm never like if I break up with somebody or if I stop talking to somebody, I don't care what they say to me, as long as they don't try to mess with my stuff. I don't care what they do. I am not personally going to go at them in a way that's gonna like cause me to lose any sleep or any joy or any stress.
I'm hoping. All right, if you out here being a bitter one towards someone, I'm really hoping it's some foundational history behind it. Like
I would hope so.
y'all was mad
Oh well.
and love over heels type thing, cause you not nobody you just dated. Oh, we've been together for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Come on, it gotta be deeper than just being. I understand your time is wasted, but I feel like to be bitter, it had to mean more than just time.
See,
Time is very precious. Please don't get me wrong. You'll never be able to get it back.
like you know what irritates me? You ever stop fucking with a chick or talking to her, whatever? Then all of a sudden she got some shit to say about what you did wrong, and like it's never like you can. I ended things with this one chick, and I tried to make it very respectful. I didn't disrespect her. To this day, I didn't disrespect her, and Lord knows I wanted to. But it was just like she started saying how I was bad in bed, and I was this, and I was that, and this, that, and the other, and I'm sitting here like,
Yeah, I don't think I piss them off enough for them to say some shit like that. Or that's just not something they can just sit there and lie to themselves about.
same.
I wish
Same.
you would.
Right? It's like you couldn't take the dick, and I'm
Whoa, shit.
But like, here's my thing, right? I'm always very when I'm engaging in sexual activity with my partner, I'm always making sure that she is comfortable and that she's enjoying it. And if it's to the point where you're not enjoying it, there is no point of us having sex, right? So it's just like you can't lie and say that I'm too rough or don't know what I'm doing or like oh the thing that always gets me trying to call my manhood small. Excuse me? What? I will slap you across the face with it. But of course I can't say that because that's being petty.
See now
I'm above that now.
See, I knew for sure. Like one thing as many episodes that we have recorded, we would talk about the women that we've hooked up with, dated, fell in love with, or whatever the case may be. Man.
I done had some crazy ass experience, and I don't understand.
I ain't ran across a lot of these type of women, whether it's good or bad. Because I remember in one episode it was whether they could take dick, and when I was like, well, I ain't met one that can. Now you sitting here telling me they out here lying on the meat.
They be just terrible.
One thing you do, I understand though. A woman that thinks that's gonna hit a man where it hurts is not a woman. You don't even recognize me as a man because I'm not that egotistical type dude where that's gonna hurt me. That's just your opinion, and I know it's not true because you kept coming back for it.
Exactly my point.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We not finna sit here and do this.
You want to hear another petty story, man?
Well, let's keep going. Shit don't matter to me.
Man.
I ain't got that many bitches to talk about.
Lord Jesus, I'm about to put out my business. I had this one woman decide to make an entire podcast episode about how I'm bad in bed and how I'm too emotional. And I sat here and it took everything in my strength not to be emotional.
Okay, so this woman also has a podcast. And
she's made one episode of her podcast. And that podcast was about how cancers ain't shit and that basically we're back in bed.
So she started a podcast and recorded one episode of why cancers ain't shit.
Yeah.
And she fucked with you and you were cancer. Well, she was fucking with you when you was cancer. Yeah, that was like.
She made this podcast after we stopped hooking up. Then this was.
Start giving up the dick.
Here's what happened though, and here's how petty she was. Right? It's actually pretty hilarious now that I think about it. But we stopped hooking up, and of course we just stopped like talking. Like our relationship was strictly sexual. So I hit her up when I want something, and vice versa. We enjoyed each other's company. That's all. This one day she randomly hits me up. Was like, "Oh, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm good. What's going on?" She was like, "Yeah, like we're just talking." I was like, "Yeah, I'm dealing with a hangover and stuff like that." And she was like, "Oh, well, I have some emergency. You want some?" And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to work. You want to bring it over?" She brings it over. I'm thinking she coming over to get something. I was like, "Oh, it's been a while. I'm cool." She comes over and was like, "Hey, remember I told you I'm starting my podcast? My first episode will be on Friday. I think you should listen to it." I said, "Okay, cool, no problem." She was like, "Yeah, I think you're gonna be in this episode. I'm not sure yet." And I was like, "Okay, I hope nothing bad." She was like,
"She said she think you're gonna be in it."
Yeah, she came over here specifically to tell me to listen to this.
It ain't you want to be in it. It's yours, nigga.
Yeah, and proceeded to tell me how this entire podcast about how I was bad at sex and how I was too emotional and things like that. And I'm sitting here like, I've never like once shared like any type of emotional connection with her. So how am I too emotional? Remember I was planning our boy's wedding proposal. Yeah. And no lie, I was sitting here like, I don't feel like hooking up with no like emotionless sex right now. I'm like legit. I felt some type of way.
You over here setting up this man's wedding and getting in the mood.
And I'm sitting here like, can I take a week of not? Can I get through this thing without like actually like having to deal with you at the moment? Had nothing to do with it.
Let me get through the next 8 hours. Calm me back. Calm me back.
Well, I'm glad that you were. But here's my thing, and honestly, men do this a lot. We get into these. We have sex when we shouldn't, right? We be in terrible mental spaces, and then we think having sex with somebody will make it better. Not just men, people in general do this. We be in terrible hair spaces. You think having sex with somebody will make it better. I just broke up with somebody. Oh, let me go fuck somebody else. I'm feeling down at my job. You know what? Let me go fuck somebody to make me feel better.
Guilty as charged.
And does it ever really make you feel better? It may feel good in the moment. It feels great in the moment. In the moment, it feels amazing. But afterwards, I feel worse than what I did when I was caught over to have sex. So I just think it's
I don't think I feel worse.
Don't get me wrong, that felt amazing, right? I got my rocks off, but I don't think it's healthy, right? And there's me trying to like make sure my mental is straight and make sure I'm on the right path. I was like, nah, I'm not trying to hook up with not just her but anybody. I had a few people on the roster at that time. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, and I was substituting like a motherfucker. No, I'm sorry. It was healthy for me. it was my health reason. And it was helping. Like, God, no, bro. I really wasn't on them. I'm lying. Don't pay me no attention. I'm just talking shit. I did do that very thing though.
And as soon as that shit was over, hell, I was trying to hook up with somebody that night.
Shit, there you go.
I just needed to get through that. I needed you not to I didn't feel like being all like up under someone at that point who I had no feelings for. Like, this is just sex. And so, all of a sudden, now I'm bad at sex, and now I'm emotional. That doesn't
I
make
just
sense.
specifically say he shouldn't have stopped fucking her, and then he gonna go proceed to tell us that he ain't wanna fuck her because he was putting a proposal,
Does that make me
a surprise proposal together.
Does that make me emotional?
That nigga don't lie to me. I knew you stopped giving her that dick, and then she was, I ain't signed up for this shit, and then she just had to go start a quick business about you, and then it failed.
Paid for it to get on Spotify and everything.
Damn, she put it on Spotify?
Yeah, boy. I was like, you shit. You were mad. I did not realize I hurt your feelings.
Did she know my name?
Nah. Had she said my name in it, it would have been.
Wasting money, girl. I would have dropped the name. I'm gonna do all that.
You might as well have. I mean, she don't even use her name in the podcast, so I guess the rest. But anyway, I'm done talking about her. Anyway, I said all that to say, women especially, when they are scorned, can be some petty betties. And they will use every avenue they can to like get back at you. Even though everything they're saying they know are not true.
I mean, it wasn't intentional, bro. Cause like you just said, I had a woman scorned. I know I heard a couple women, but it wasn't intentional. But I guess that's why I don't get the petty or the.
But here's the thing: I think men do it too in different ways. And I remember I was talking to this one girl. We were just talking. So this wasn't me who happened to, but she was like, she was dating this dude, and then he did her wrong. So he went and had sex with his fraternity brother, and like let everybody know about it. I was like, that's petty, and that doesn't make sense. That's not stable.
Stop.
But here's the thing: men do it also, right? All of a sudden, like, well, they don't have to break up with somebody in order to do it, but that's petty. That act is a petty act. To break up with somebody in order to get back at them and see with their friend or anything like that.
Folks ain't never finna just keep going like we ain't hear what we just heard or what I thought time out.
Yeah. She was messing with this dude, and they had a whole little situation going on. He basically played her to the left or did her wrong, so she went and slept with his fraternity brother.
How does that help?
It made him jealous.
See, he wasn't good about it then, because first of all, you really care about her, you should have cheated. Second of all, you cheating on me with a fraternity brother don't put you in good positions. Now we ain't got shit but a story to share about your goofy ass.
Not all the
Fuck
time.
You mean?
Here's the thing.
No, I'm saying
but that at times it can be like fraternities can have a relationship like real brothers, like the way we would have the relationship we would have. Like if one of your chicks wanted to get back at you and just have sleep with me, of course that would be messed up and you would feel some type of way about it. And vice versa.
Ain't no nigga that I know that I call brother would do that though.
Exactly my point. But apparently they.
So that's what I'm saying. From his point of view, you was never my motherfucking brother. You wasn't no deeper than, you know what I'm saying, this fraternity, and she just is dirty for even coming to pick you because she knew that you would probably, you know what I'm saying, be thirsty enough to get at me and go ahead and do that shit with her. I don't be reading too much into shit like that fucking niggas.
Yeah, man.
I hope, I wish you both motherfuckers the best.
Yeah. Yes, we are no longer compadres, partner.
Yeah, man.
And depending on how much I felt about that woman, you may not, we may have to throw hands, man.
No real conciliation. This is not gonna ever be bad. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna ever be good. Just let it be what it is.
I don't know about that one. I'm not sure if I can just let that one slide. But I trust all of my friends, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, man. That's our time. In closing, I've lived a wild and crazy life.
Man,
I do love my life.
I love my life real.
Yeah. But all
I've
of
been
these
saying that since we left for
LA.
That LA trip.
Yes, sir.
The things that's been going on, bro, has just been falling into my lap.
Yeah.
I'm like,
listen, in retrospect, everything that I've been through has been a learning lesson, and I've just grown from it. And I can tell stories about my life for days, but this podcast from now would be Tristan Ratchet Hour. But let's move on, man. You got to worry for the people.
I don't want to say just women. I just want to say people in general.
I got one.
You know, you live, you love, you learn. Just learn.
Yeah.
You know, let it go. Don't be
let that hurt go. That was gonna be my word. See, brothers, let that hurt go.
It becomes a weight.
Yeah.
It holds you back.
Indeed.
Let it go.
Indeed. All right, man. Thank you for rocking with us today. As always, like, comment,
subscribe,
share, please. Follow us on YouTube at Ratchet Gentleman, on IG at RaGents_pod. That's RAGENTS_POD. Other than that, we out.